We're often asked what happens to bad people in the afterlife. Do they go to hell? The answer is in what is generally thought will happen to bad people. In this video, I explain what we know from people living in the afterlife about what happens to people who did things and had motivations that were bad during their time on earth. Hello, I'm Dr. R. Craig Hogan, President of the Afterlife Research and Education Institute and Seek Reality Online. Upon entering the afterlife, people find themselves in surroundings and living conditions that suit their state of mind, attitudes, and level of love and compassion. People who were malicious, cruel, and evil on earth find themselves in a realm with others who share these bad attitudes. The inhabitants create the conditions of this realm based on their attitudes and moral state. They expect life to be dog eat dog, full of greed, selfishness, and violence, so that's what they get. This is not a punishment or a hell. Monsignor Robert Hugh Benson, speaking from the afterlife through medium Anthony Borgia, explains what all those communicating from the afterlife tell us. There is no such place as a hell with fire and brimstone.
Spirituality means warmth in the spirit world. Lack of spirituality means coldness. The whole fantastic doctrine of hell, fire, a fire which burns but never consumes, is one of the most outrageous, stupid, and ignorant doctrines that has ever been invented by equally stupid and ignorant churchmen. Who actually invented it, no one knows, but it is still rigorously upheld as a doctrine by the church. Even the smallest acquaintance with spirit life instantly reveals the utter impossibility of it, because it is against the very laws of spirit existence. This concerns its literal side. What a shocking blasphemy it involves.
The lower regions are a world created by the conditions of the minds of the people there. These are people who were violent, cruel, and evil on earth. They carry those attitudes into their lives in the afterlife, living with others who are of a similar nature. Their nature creates their world. It is described as being dark, dank, and foul, with unpleasant sounds such as mad, raucous laughter and shrieks. The beauties of the higher realm are not pleasant there. James M. Peebles, considered the father of the spiritualist movement, received this communication from a resident of the afterlife describing the conditions in the lower realms.
In the lower realms of darkness, I have witnessed the formation of clusters, societies, and cities that embody moral degradation. In the streets of these places, immature spirits are found engaged in disputes, quarrels, enmities, and pitiful rantings. They take pleasure in harassing and tormenting one another.
Monsignor Robert Hugh Benson, communicating through medium Anthony Borgia, describes descending into the lower realms. This is his description of those realms.
Our nostrils were at first assailed by the most foul odors that reminded us of the corruption of flesh in the earth world. They were nauseating, and I feared that it would prove more than Ruth, and indeed I, myself, could stand. But Edwin told us to treat them in the same way as we had mastered the coldness of the temperature, by simply closing our minds to them, and that we should be quite unaware of their existence. We hastened to do so, and we were perfectly successful. Here in these dark lands, all is bleak and desolate. The very low degree of light itself casts a blight upon the whole region. Occasionally we were able to catch a glimpse of the faces of some unfortunates as we passed along. Some were unmistakably evil, showing the life of vice they had led upon the earth. Some revealed the miser, the avaricious, the brute beast. The multitudinous sounds that we heard were in keeping with the awful surroundings, from mad raucous laughter to the shriek of some soul in torment inflicted by others as bad as himself.
The people in these lower realms aren't destined to live there forever. Counselors and the people's loved ones go into their realm to help them grow in love and compassion, so they rise up out of their conditions to enter the higher realms, where most people go on leaving the earth. Alice Stringfellow received messages from her cousin Betty in spirit about these darker regions.
This is a description of a place where those who have lived their lives in vice and crime reside. There is only one such place, but its vastness and population are beyond comprehension. The atmosphere is dark and gloomy, with a leaden fog that lingers constantly. The inhabitants live in misery and disharmony, with no light or hope to guide them. Despite the bleakness of this place, good spirits who have friends there visit often and do what they can to inspire them to seek a better life. However, these efforts are often in vain, as many are deeply entrenched in their destructive ways and resist change. Some do recognize the error of their ways and seek redemption, but sadly, others continue to revel in their vices. These individuals have no meaningful occupation, and their idleness only contributes to their despair. It is disheartening to think that by their actions on earth, they are sentencing themselves to a life in this dreadful place.
Reverend Charles Drayton Thomas spoke from the afterlife through direct voice medium Leslie Flint, describing going to people living in the lower levels to help them rise up out of their circumstances.
Many individuals remain stuck in a peculiar level of consciousness that is not far from that of Earth, yet they exist in a dreamlike state and require assistance to awaken from it. We aim to provide that aid by entering their homes and lives, encouraging them to recognize the power they possess and how to use it to manifest change even if they cannot yet envision a higher purpose. Our goal is to infuse them with a revitalizing energy that will stimulate introspection and a desire for self-improvement. Many of these individuals are content to remain in their current state of consciousness, and some have not encountered kindred spirits with whom they had a connection during their time on Earth.
People we call bad or evil on earth will go into a realm that fits their state of mind, with other people having the same state of mind. Their state of mind creates the environment, but they will eventually grow out of that place as they develop in their love and compassion for others.